Fathers are the heroes of our life. Today, on this upcoming feature called Anokhe Rang, we shall actually project three heroes of three generations. The mastermind and the real hero of Anokhe Rang is well respected and a prominent gentleman from our community, Dr. Krishan Chhabra. Along with him, his son, Dr. Chhabra. And along with the son, the young baby in making, Dr. Chhabra. Let's hear, let's see.
Happy Father's Day to all of you. I'm Dr. Krishan Chhabra and welcome to Anokhe Rang. Today in the studio we have a representation of three generations. First is the Generation Z, Master Krishan Chhabra. Hello Krishan, how are you? Of course he's very busy. Then we have Generation X, Dr. Nipun Chhabra.
Hello and happy Father's Day to all of you.
And today's topic is father to father, and we will start with the young father.
Thank you, Dad. I would like to start off by asking you to tell us about your experience with your father and in raising you and your brothers.
Sure. My father, whom we fondly called Bauji, who is in heaven now along with my mother, bless their souls, was very kind, nice, caring, and a man of faith. He was a devoted husband and a loving father. During the India's partition in 1947, there were dreadful Hindu-Muslim riots, and our family was forced to move out from what is now known as Pakistan. We were barely able to get out alive, but we had to leave everything behind. So Bauji had to start from scratch and raise the family. Bauji believed in hard work and rose to become a civil engineer. He taught us values and discipline. He, along with my mother, raised 6 boys. Our lives were simple yet very different. As we were growing up, I remember we would walk to the school and walk back, and usually it used to be a very long walk. There was no TV, no libraries, and very little planned activities. I think Bauji did a very good job in raising these 6 boys. Ultimately, we all became engineers except for one who took a detour and became a physician.
Not a bad detour to take. No doubt Bauji was a very impressive person, and I have many fond memories of him growing up. Now, how would you compare your experience with that of raising us?
Those were very, very different, and I think some of our viewers will be able to relate to it. I came to the USA as a student more than 40 years ago. I got a graduate assistantship, did my master's, my doctorate, and then got a job. First off, there is a cultural aspect. My wife and I have raised our children in the USA, so there was a need to maintain a balance, keeping the Indian values and growing within the American culture. And the expectations as the children were growing up have been high. A lot of homework, trying to get good grades, and taking advanced placement classes. Then there's a big emphasis on extracurricular activities within and outside of school. So my wife and I were very much involved. She would mostly drive the children in her car, what we call as mom's taxi, to all sorts of activities. Music lessons, dance lessons, soccer, baseball, martial arts, India school, and the list just goes on. I was mostly involved in helping and guiding my children in their studies with the school science projects and the school meetings and the clubs. And of course, my wife and I were involved in the process of college selection for our children, applications, trip to visit the schools, financial forms, and making the final decisions. Well, as for your older sister, the oldest one, she is a PhD in educational psychology. Your older sister, she's an allergist and immunologist, and you are an ear, nose, throat surgeon. So looks like everything worked out well. Now that you are a young father, what differences do you find in how you were being raised?
Well, that's an excellent question, Dad. It's difficult to sum that up in a short amount of time. But, for example, you taught us the value of educational research, which I believe is somewhat of a lost art. Today, there's a much greater emphasis on integrating technology with learning. Things like Google, Wikipedia, iPads, iPhones, as you can see, Raiden is using one here, did not exist when I was in grade school. Also, some people believe my generation is known as the, quote, helicopter parents, so we really must work hard to maintain a balance between fostering independence and being overprotective of our children. You know, I really believe it is extremely important for us to always remember that you and Mom made a huge sacrifice by leaving your family and home to provide opportunities for your children here in America. And truthfully, Dad, you have been in countless ways both the person and the father that I hope and aspire to become. Now, in keeping with these same cultural values and roots that I try to instill in my own children, what advice would you give to fathers out there?
Well, thank you, son. There's a lot that can be said, but my advice based upon my experience would be this. Be there for your children no matter how young. Stay involved, guide them, nurture them, teach them values so that they learn, but also allow them to learn from their mistakes so that they grow up to be decent human beings and also good problem solvers. One advice that I have given to all of my children comes from a verse which is near and dear to my heart from the Bhagavad Gita, which says that you must perform your duty but realize that the results are not in your hand. For example, if you're a student, this means focus on your studies without being worried or stressed about the final results or grades. Well, easier said than done, but I have found this message to be very helpful in every stage of life. Bottom line, just do your best. And most importantly, always keep the lines of communication open. In my opinion, this is very, very crucial, not only in raising the children, but also in maintaining the sanity and harmony in a family. And finally, no matter what generation you are from, here's what I would like to say. Cherish the love and gratitude of your father, whether you are young or old. Hold on to the precious moments and sweet memories. They are worth much more than gold. May your bond stay strong, even when his gait is slow and his hair turned gray. Relationship with father is like a brilliant gem. Its glow will never fade and forever will be with you to stay. Please join me again on the first Sunday of next month. Namaskar.